Hey guys, I'm Alexis.
And I'm Kennedy.
And this is Divine Daughters. So welcome back to another episode. We're going to be talking about relationships. So
yes.
Dating, singleness, and kind of
our relationships.
Yeah. So some personal
experience.
Some inside what we've gone through. Yeah, so I'm excited about that.
I'm so excited.
You had actually already gone on to a podcast.
I did.
And talked about relationships.
A little bit of this, yes.
Oh, so tell me kind of how it was. Like, what podcast did you go on?
It was so fun. It's called the Pruning Podcast by Taya Smith. I'm going to link it down below so y'all can like go watch it.
Perfect.
But me and my boyfriend went on it and it was so cute. She's doing a series that's like based off a book, Single, Dating, Engaged, Married. So she did like our other friends that are single, and then she did me and my boyfriend as dating, and then some other people for the rest of the
like
series.
Engaged and married.
Yeah,
that's such a cool idea. I love that. So yeah, go check that out if that's some content you'd be interested in. And then for us, remember for our Instagram, we have polls. We're gonna do Q&As popping up, and so that's gonna be the Divine Daughters podcast.
Also in the description.
Yeah, it's gonna be there.
Just go to the little description.
Go click that so we can go check it out. And then we have our little quotes coming in of best things that we say. So go check that out. But okay, so first things first. Okay, so relationships.
Yes.
We know first and foremost before getting into relationships, there's a couple things.
And we're both in relationships. So this is coming from personal experiences, other people's experiences.
Yeah, that's good to know.
All together. Yeah.
No, we're just two single girls and we're gonna bashment. No. We're not gonna do that. So starting off, I know you've been dating way longer than I have. Yeah. So
for sure,
you're the pro at this point. Before getting into that relationship, let's kind of talk about singleness for a second.
Okay.
For me, it was closer than for you.
Yes.
Because for me,
and yours was a lot longer.
Yeah, I love being single. Like that was one of my things. Like I love dating and I love like finding myself and like working on that aspect of building a relationship with God, and then.
And I love that.
The hardships of having it with someone else, and then also like the growth from it. But the singleness aspect for me, I enjoyed so much because I found that I could like hear the Lord better. Like my quiet time was quiet. Like when I was either always by myself studying, and then I'd just be like, Lord, I'm tired of studying and I don't want to go out. So like we just got to talk. Or I'd be like, okay, like I'll go out, hang out with friends, and they were all like godly Christian women. And so definitely in the singleness, it was vital for me to have Christian friends.
Yeah.
Girls especially. Don't hang around all the guys for sure, but like having like a life group and having like close friends.
And when I was single, I didn't have that.
Yeah. But that was all the way in high school. Like that was so different.
Like I haven't been single since high school, so I didn't really have that.
Yeah, so how was it going into like, because I know we had talked about kind of our relationships before with God, and like how in high school it wasn't super sturdy. So how did you navigate like, okay, her boyfriend, love him to death, like she got a good one, you know, not even being in like the season with like maybe the healthiest with the Lord, because like I had that too. So it's like, how did you navigate that?
I have no idea, because like I wasn't really close to the Lord when we met.
Yeah.
So like I didn't even really pray like, oh, is he the one? Should I do this? I just like let everything happen.
Yeah.
But also did that like prayer where it's like if he's not the one,
take him out.
But I didn't really pray it. I was just like, I kind of pushed him away. I'm like, I can't do this right now. And he kind of just like came back.
Yeah.
So that kind of was like the prayer being answered without it even me praying it.
Yeah, and I definitely have a similar experience with that.
I know you do.
Oh my goodness. I'm one of those people that are super stubborn. Like I told you, like some people like hate being single. I liked it a lot. Yeah. And so for me, it was going to be like a big thing to come into union with someone. Because even before like not having the best relationship with the Lord, I was growing deeper in it, and I knew for sure like my mom and my dad, like they're together. A lot of my friends' parents are divorced, and I saw the aftermath of that, and I saw how different it was like growing up lifestyles, and I knew that I love my friends so much, and they've gone through so much, and they're great and amazing people. I just knew I never wanted to put my kids through that. So I was like, how can I like shelter them in a way that like they still experience things, but in a godly way, especially in a 2-parent household. So I was like, I'm not joining myself in union with anybody until the Lord says, you know, that this is my person.
That's good.
Yeah. But I know for sure it definitely just depends kind of how the Lord moves you. I mean, one of the most annoying things I think is like the Bible, it doesn't really do too much about dating and courting. It's more of just like, women, submit yourselves to the Lord, and then when you get a man, submit yourself to your man. Love your man, be a Proverbs 31 wife, and make sure but like that's like some really good factors for sure, because I want to be submissive, I want to be meek, not weak, I want to be like gentle, I want to be comforting, you know. And I guess like the dating wise, like that's not what we kind of get in this day and age at all. How would you say like your dating experience went, like how you saw other people and how yours was?
Like other people as in
like friends around you. I mean, you had friend groups, you had things like, how are they influencing you in your relationship? Because if God isn't the main factor.
Well, I never really like took my friends' advice where they're like you should stay away from this one, because like they just know I'm not gonna listen. Like you could have told me a million times, hey, don't date this person, and I'm like, okay, well, watch me. So
yeah, we're both kind of stubborn in certain
so like
areas.
It doesn't really matter if you told me like they can see that they're not good for you. I still would have had to figure it out myself. But I've never let friends influence my relationship, which even now I'm like, no one's ever come to me and be like, oh, he's like this and this, like in a negative way.
Well, yeah, because I mean,
because he's really perfect.
He's pretty awesome,
like,
pretty awesome guy.
So
no, and I think that's a good factor, because I know for sure for me it was different, because like we were in like a group organization on campus, so like my thing going into the relationship was like, before I even came in here, I was like, I'm not dating anyone from here, because like I don't want to have anybody to say anything, or I don't want it to be some cheesy like I met him in college in a Christian organization, and like I just wanted to like kind of meet him on my own, which I think is funny now.
And how did that work out? I was like, how did that work out?
Also, like, why wouldn't you want to meet him into a Christian environment?
Like before I met the boyfriend I have now, I was like, I'm gonna be single a year. I was like, the last relationship was rough. I'm gonna be single a year.
Really?
That lasted a whole. Not to be dramatic, 3 weeks. Not even 3 weeks.
That is crazy to think.
Not even. Like, and it wasn't.
The Lord's like, all right,
He's like, you're gonna be single hot. Here you go. Here you go.
That's crazy.
So, yeah.
And then there's me, and then I think I held off longer than you did. I held off for 7 months.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was like, I have so much to do with school, and I was so stressed out of my mind. I was like, I'm not going to weigh anyone else down, especially if I don't know if I'm going to marry them. Like, so I'm like... And I'm such like a relationship person,
or like I liked being in a relationship and all of that, but I was trying to be single. I was like, I'm going to be single a year. Let's do it. Like, I'll be single. Yeah, no, that did not work out, but that's okay, because I found the person I'm going to marry versus being still single.
Yeah. And I think either way, it kind of just depends on the personality.
Yeah.
Because for sure there's people that like enjoy singleness. And I think that's something where you definitely, the short period that you have, you never know if you're going to be single for another year or another 2 weeks. You never know if someone's going to catch your eye. But just making sure, I knew in the time, like, since I started dating in college, I was like, I want to make sure that I'm a woman that's prepared for marriage. Yeah. And so like, it still scares me now, for sure.
Because you're like older than you think you are.
For sure. Like I was getting my nails done. My nails. I had a wedding that I went to this weekend for one of my close friends, and it's just like a lot of my friends are getting engaged. Or like on Instagram. Like
every single time I open Instagram, someone either is pregnant or engaged or married.
For me, I'm just on the engagement marriage side, so
People
I haven't
having
seen
kids. And
no, I haven't seen that yet. But all your friends are older than you. Mine are like around my age or younger. So I'm like, how are y'all all getting engaged?
That's what I feel though. I used to like idolize getting married, especially like when we first started dating and everybody was really getting married. I was like, I used to idolize it, and then I had to take a step back and be like, you know what, it's not my timing, it's God's timing. I don't care if y'all been dating 3 months and y'all are getting married, it's fine.
So it's something definitely, because relationship is like, God desires a relationship with us, so it's our natural desire to desire a relationship in something. So if it's not with God, we're obviously going to run towards other people. And I feel like it's going to be easier for sure. Like a lot of Christians, they get married really young, which I don't have a problem with now. I feel like when I was younger, I was like,
I've never had a problem.
Self-control.
I always thought I would get married around like 21, 22.
And for me, I thought the opposite. I was going to get married like 28, 29.
But like also, I think it is kind of crazy. Like, the relationship I have is the most godly relationship I've ever had, even in the beginning. And God wasn't in the center of a relationship in the beginning.
You just had like the morals, like you had even the religion like protected you in some way.
Yes,
you know,
it's like this is the most godly relationship between everything. And in the beginning, like, it took a while for God to be like the center of a relationship, and it still was like pleasing to God in a way.
Yeah. So, which I feel like is also a sign, kind of like when you're looking in people, it's like you can always look back and see like the beauty in that.
Yeah.
So like looking forward, it's like it's never going to go out the way you planned. Like obviously, like if you wanted to plan it, you would have been like, okay, we're both going to be like full on fire for the Lord. We're going to go into this relationship and just like go after Jesus together and do all these things. But then a lot of the times it's different because you're like, wow, like I didn't see that in Jesus, or like we weren't seeking him there, but like, wow, like look where we are now, you know? Because we've had so many instances with like work situations where get fired, but then he got hired at Costco, which makes way more money, or like I failed a class, but then I'm like retaking it and I made my A on it today, you know, on my test. And it's like little things where it's just like, okay, like we started off with hardships and then financial troubles and all these things, but it's like going through that, but like still relying on God, you know? It's like there's always something to turn you back to. Yeah. That for sure. But I feel like what would be some good advice for people that maybe are like looking for a relationship?
Don't look.
Don't look. Okay, don't look for a relationship.
Don't look. Just sit there.
Just sit there. No, but you have to go out though.
You do. Like you can't just be like waiting in your house, be like, he's gonna come like a knight in shining armor.
Kick down your door.
But I think also enjoy singleness, be patient, and pray to God, pursue God. Yeah. And sometimes I always like hear this. It's like if you're like, I'm ready for my husband, he might not be ready for you yet. God might be forming him how he's supposed to be, like a husband. So you just gotta wait a little bit longer.
And I feel like my mom used to always tell me that. She's like, make sure you're praying for your future spouse. You know,
you should, because like someone might not be praying for them at all. Like they might not be religious yet. Yeah.
It's kind of like my situation. I was like, that's crazy to think. I'm like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm probably going to date someone that's been a Christian forever. It's like, no. But it's just so, like, crazy to think that, like, growing up in a household that, like, my parents, avidly prayed for me. And, like, maybe people that didn't have their parents that prayed for them. I'm like, your parents aren't even praying for you? Yeah. Like,
then no one's praying for you.
Who's supporting you, you know? Yeah. So it's like having those friends, even the futureness of just being like, Lord, I know you have options for me. So I pray for all those options. I pray, you know, even if I don't pick that one, like their future wife's amazing. And, you know, that they have a beautiful relationship. But Lord, I pray for mine, you know, that I'm going to choose, you know, build them up in characteristics of you. Like, let him be a leader. Let him be financially stable. Let him want to protect me, you know? Yeah. It's like all these people.
That. I think also when you are praying, you should give God like your characteristics. Like, this is what I want. If I had it my way, this is what I want. You should give me this. Mm-hmm. Like, and I always wanted someone that was funny because I can't ever be serious. So I'm like, I need someone that will always let me crack jokes, and we could crack jokes back and forth even if it's a serious situation.
I think we had written like our list or whatever, but then there was someone like famous.
I wrote my list.
But then there's someone that's like, you need to tear up your list. Like, God he's going to give you whatever you need or something like that. And I was like, yeah, I'm like, I'm still going to keep my list. Like, it's not me saying like, Lord, this is all the things that I want. He better be 6'3". He better have 6 figures and be 23, you know,
like, kind of makes sense. Like, you can't be like, he needs to be an NBA basketball player making this much money. Like, I think that's a little far short, but you could be like, he needs to be patient because I'm a big personality. He needs to be patient and kind. He needs to be understanding.
And then also on the flip side of it, also being like, Lord, shape me to the characteristics of him. I know I'm not always the most humble. I know I can be stubborn. I know that I like to have a little temper sometimes. So Lord, like, slow me down. Like, I know lots of people like the spice, but we need to tone it down. I need to be like white people chicken. Like, I need to be like, you know, slow to anger, you know, quick to listen. Help me in that area for sure. Because you don't want to be praying for the perfect man and then you get there and he's like, well, you're not my woman. Want you.
Yeah. No, like, you are a hot mess and you're
rude. Be like, dang it, he's everything I prayed for. I forgot to pray for myself and get myself situated.
That's so true though.
Because that was something for me. I was like, okay, Lord, like once I saw my potential interest, I was like, I'm not interested in you. You're going to have to get all these things fixed up. Not that there was anything inherently wrong with him. It's just for me, I knew my standards, and he understood that if he wanted to be with me, these were my set standards. And like, I found myself wanting to change to better myself for him, because in certain areas I'm like, dang, he's doing better than me in this. I need to get better. And so it's like that avid like fight to beat each other, you know, but it's at the end of the day, it's just getting closer to God. So like, oh, okay, he prayed for me. Dang it. Okay, let me pray for him. Lord, I'm going to write out my prayer. I pray that you bless him in this way, you know, or just like helping him, or like being supportive. Like, oh man, he really helped me like be nice with me when I was getting ready for church, and I got ready just on time, and we're going out, and I'm nervous and I'm upset that I'm going to be there at 10 o'clock instead of 9:50 like I like to, you know, and he's still being patient with me. So I'm going to be patient when we're leaving a little bit later for work today, you know? So it's just like complimenting for sure. And like, if you're in a relationship, and I feel like there was a point in my life, like the first 6 months, it was like still like a fight of like, okay, Lord, should I be with him? Should I not be with him? Should I be with him?
And that's how I was too, because I was still like getting out of a toxic relationship. So I was like, I don't know if this is even what I should be doing right now. I'm supposed to be single for a year, and I'm over here trying to make another relationship work. So.
And I feel like it's just because you question it doesn't mean it's wrong.
Yeah.
That was my biggest thing. I was like, man, okay, like I don't know, like I feel like I'm confused. Maybe like I need to break up with him, and like it's not gonna work if I'm feeling this way. Maybe the Lord's putting true story. And it wasn't like that at all. When you're dating in a relationship and you're a little bit older, I feel like there's an importance of making sure that you're prepared for marriage, or that you have somewhat of a mindset towards it. Because even for me, it's a battle, because right now, like I have 2 years left of school, and for me, in my mind and like my timeline, ideally I would like to be married after I finish school. That way it's like less financial stress. Like, I'm not into the whole adulting thing, so like I want to be able to start when I have a big paycheck, you know, just to like be more secure and have like less issues starting off a fresh marriage. But you have to be ready for that. And I feel like that's one thing that I was like, oh, maybe I shouldn't have, but I'm like, I have a great guy. Like, I'm not just going to pass it, because in my mind, the timeline. You're not ready. So make sure you're ready for marriage, but then you're also with a mindset of, Lord, at the end of the day, you're going to lead me how I lead me. It might not be my timeline. I'm definitely not waiting all the way until I'm 28 to get married, when that was the joke that I was always going to wait until I was 28. I don't think he would like that if I waited until I was 28. He'd be 30, so he would.
No, he'd be over it.
Definitely not. He convinced me otherwise. But just don't go in with such high expectations that you close your ears to the Lord. That's always a big thing that I'd probably tell myself for sure. It's like, you can be happy single, but at the end of the day, this is a race, and you want a partner with you, you know, and you don't need one. It's not necessary. God is going to get you through everything. He has the Holy Spirit for that. So you'll have enough energy, but having a best friend that's with you 24/7, I feel like it doesn't have to be some hot and heavy thing.
It's my favorite thing in the world.
It's like, people have never told me that my boyfriend was going to be my best friend.
It's like a built-in best friend. You get to text them about all the random stuff during the day.
You're right.
And it's so
like,
fun.
And they see every part of you, and it's like comforting. I feel like if someone would have described a relationship like that, but I feel like I didn't understand like the Lord's relationship yet. So I didn't understand that I can have a similar relationship with my spouse, like future spouse or my boyfriend, you know, with the sense of like, I trust them 100%. Like I don't have to worry if they're going to cheat on me. I'm not going to have to worry. My thing is, if you're worrying if they're going to cheat on you, there's definitely trust issues that you need to get right with the Lord. See if there's a root issue with yourself, and if it's a them problem, drop them, because they probably will. We have good instincts, you know, as women. So that's my thing for sure. Definitely watch that. You're gonna have 100% trust, comfortability, like just be crazy, because I know the amount of crazy things I'd say. I'm like, oh my goodness, you can never break up with me, because the amount of stuff that you know about me is crazy. But just like having a nice friend to like walk with life with is beneficial. It's fun.
Like, and God created it that way. Like, he wants you to be with someone the rest of your life.
Men aren't all bad, and women aren't all crazy.
No.
We can be crazy sometimes, and men can mess up just like women do. But But at the end of the day, we're all human. There's sin in the world. It's real. But Jesus died for both genders, and he wants both of them to come together, and partner with one another. It's like having that bond is going to be the closest you can feel to someone ever. So it's something exciting for people that are dating, looking for marriage. I know Kennedy's excited for that.
I'm so excited.
I know that's something that I'm going to look forward to one day, being one with someone.
Maybe soon.
Yeah. Maybe we'll see. But I think that's something that should be worth praying for. So don't fear it like, oh my goodness, like I'm getting too old. Maybe I'm past my prime. Like the Lord has someone for you. And that could be down the line. That could be, if you don't choose that, there is someone for you. But if you don't choose that, it's your option. Like if I wanted to be single forever, I could be single forever. I liked being single, but I also liked dating. Yeah. So, and I would like to be married one day. So there's all the options. As long as you're seeking the Lord in that, you're going to find fulfillment. It just depends where your troubles are. Cause there's always going to be troubles in the relationship. There's gonna be troubles outside the relationship. Yes. That's life.
Cause the enemy doesn't want you to have good things.
No. Oh my goodness. Me and the Lord were talking. I'm like, Lord, I just hate the devil sometimes because all the time I'm like, I can hate someone and that's the devil. It's like, he just wants to mess up everything in my life. Real. Jealous. Don't be like the devil. Don't be like that. But I think just be prayerful. Go into it with an open mind. Consult the Lord. Consult your friends. I say don't be closed mind to your friends, because if they're godly friends and they're pouring into your life,
and they see something that you don't see.
Yeah. I mean, at the end of the day, pray for open eyes and ears to hear. That's what I always do with the Lord. I'm like, Lord, show myself, show my future spouse, let us be one with one another, but in your confines, and work on purity, Yeah. So that concludes this week's relationships episode. We have that one on purity right before, so go check that one out. But y'all have a great week. We'll see y'all next time.
Bye.
Bye.